Hey, what's up, visionaries? Welcome back to the channel. My name's Anton, and hopefully all of you guys are having a fantastic day because you guys want to see more Backstreet Boys, and so we are doing, this is a support squad request from Mans, and this is Show Me the Meaning of Being Lonely. And as you guys know, we love the Backstreet Boys here. I love all of these boy bands. I just love, like, ensembles. I love it when you see like the Avengers, you see all these different personalities coming together, these different styles to create such a beautiful product. So I think Backstreet Boys are just some of the best examples of that. But anyway, before we get into this one, I do want to mention to all of you guys that if you have any suggestions, definitely leave them in the Discord. It is totally free. I made a channel there called Returning Artists for you guys. It just takes about, I don't know, 2 minutes to set up. And so, yeah, leave them all there, all of your suggestions. I do not take any of the suggestions from down below. I look at all the comments, I read them and stuff, but I don't take any of the suggestions. So if you have any suggestions, Discord, link down below. I also want to give a big shout out to the Support Squad on the Patreon. Thank you guys very much, sincerely. Yeah, I really appreciate it. And to anyone who doesn't know, that's what funds the entire channel. So if you want to help out and support the channel, definitely consider checking out the link down below and joining the Supporter Squad if you'd like. Links to everything are down below, and that's it. So let's get into Backstreet Boys, Show Me the Meaning of Being Lonely. Oh, okay.
Show me the meaning of being lonely.
I love that guitar.
So many words for the broken heart. It's hard to see in a crimson love. So hard to breathe.
Okay, I'm gonna pause it right at the beginning, actually, for a specific reason. So we've heard probably 5 Backstreet Boys songs. Maybe this is the 4th or the 5th, and I've noticed they all have a very kind of similar feeling. They're usually very, romantic, and definitely kind of poppy. And then immediately this one just has a different vibe that I think As Long As You Love Me has a kind of classical guitar. I think, if I'm correct, it has a classical guitar too. But just already in this one, it just has a bit of more of a somber feeling. And obviously, watching the video, I think it's about loss and death and losing someone you love, right? But just like, even if I didn't see the video, I would just immediately know. It's like, okay, this has a more, I don't know if mature feeling is the right word, but it's just a bit more emotionally intense. Because yeah, that's it. None of the Backstreet Boys songs we've listened to prior, I believe, unless I'm wrong, have felt emotionally intense. They've been very uplifting, beautiful, romantic, sensual, but yeah, not as intense. They've all been love songs, I think. And Larger Than Life, that song is not very intense, but already, even hearing Brian's vocals here, it's showing a dimension of his voice that I haven't really picked up on before. Like, I've always seen these guys as, yeah, the romantics, but this is just like, oh, there's a more nuanced vibe here that I'm immediately gravitating towards. Just that guitar is just beautiful, and I think more the subtle orchestration in this one. So let's get back into it.
So many words for the broken heart. It's hard
Yeah, I love that.
to see in a crimson love. So hard to breathe. Walk with me and maybe night till the light so soon become
AJ, man.
wild and free. I can feel the sun. Your every wish will be done. They tell me, show me the meaning of being lonely. Is this the feeling I need to walk with?
This is on another level. Kevin?
Life goes on as it never ends. Eyes of stone observe the trends. They never say forever gaze. If only beauty rose to an endless love. There's no control. Are you with me now? Your every wish will be done. Tell me, show me the meaning of being lonely. Is this the feeling I need to want? Tell me why I can't be there where you are. There's something missing in my heart. There's nowhere to run. I have no place to go. Surrender my heart, body and soul. How can it be you're asking me to feel the things you never show?
I got chills.
You are missing in my heart. Tell me why can't I be there where you are? Show me the meaning of being lonely. Is this the feeling I need to want? Tell me why I can't be there where you are. There's something missing. Show me the meaning of being lonely. Is this the feeling I need to want? Tell me why I can't be there where you are. There's something missing in my heart.
Oh my gosh, that was a freaking masterpiece. That song was exceptional. And I know I was smiling a lot in that one, and that probably didn't fit the vibe of the song. But I was feeling like two vibes like simultaneously. That was quite an experience, because on one hand, the song is like, I love this song so much. This is my favorite Backstreet Boys song. It's like, just like every time they add a new element or that kind of like gothic overtone, with the orchestration or the violins and that classical guitar, it was like I was simultaneously, it was like very moody and dark, but it was like, I was like, yo, this is so good. Like, and then just some of those melodies were just so beautiful, where I'm just like, I love these guys so much. And then at the same time, like right after, I'd kind of slip into kind of feeling like, when Kevin mentioned that one line, stone eyes gazing endlessly at the trends or whatever. We'll talk about some of the lyrics later. But I was just like, damn, that hits deep. That line especially just reaches out to me and just grabs hold of me. How intense of a line that is, and how that kind of plays into human nature. But so like I was of kind of two worlds, and just like witnessing this incredible song for the first time and being swept up into like, and also it's kind of like, it's the Backstreet Boys, you know what I mean? They had this allure, they're this boy band, right? Where you're just like, when you watch the Backstreet Boys, you feel like you're taking part in history in some weird way. You're like, yo, like these guys were on top of the world. Like everything these guys touched turned to gold, right? Like they have so many hits. Like we've heard 5 songs and I'm like trying to figure out which one I like the most. Like they're all absolutely incredible. And it's just, yeah, when you see AJ, you know, doing his thing, and just, I love the soulful part of his voice, and then you see Cant, like it's almost like it's like the Avengers. Like it doesn't matter how like kind of dark the scene is or whatever. You see someone like Tony Stark walk in, you're like, oh, I wonder what's gonna happen here. Like there's when you have this ensemble, there's an expectation of what they're gonna bring to the table, right? And you see Kevin, and you go, oh man, Kevin usually doesn't do verses by himself. So it's like there's almost that like novelty that comes in, and then you hear what he's saying, and you get swept right back into the mood of the song, right? Which is, and then another thing I want to mention is Nick Carter. I feel like I sometimes have thought of Nick as like the weakest link in the band. But the more songs I listen to with Nick, the more I see that he's actually completely integral to their sound, because maybe AJ has the most soulful voice, or Brian has, an incredible voice, and same with Howie, same with Kevin, and Nick has a great voice too. But like, you hear AJ, and for me, probably AJ and Brian, probably AJ and Brian or something. AJ is my favorite, hands down. Every time I listen to that guy, I go, whoa. So he's the one who hits me the hardest. But then a lot of the time, the crescendos of the songs are falling on Nick. Nick is that he has that voice that pops, you know what I mean? It literally is the pop voice, right? It adds, he's the one like breaking down and drowning on his knees, singing his heart out, right? And I find like Nick is like the high energy emotion of the band. He's kind of the one that without him, it would just not be the same, right? But then even now onto like the meaning of the song and stuff, it's like, yeah, for me, the whole meaning of the song was like, you don't know what you have until it's gone, right? It's like, yeah, show me the meaning of being lonely. Is this the feeling I need to walk with? Tell me why. It's like that line also jumped out to me too, because I'm like, is this the feeling I need to walk with? Absolutely. It's like you need to walk with pain. You need to walk with hurt, and like, because we all run away from our pain, we all run away from our wounds or traumas. We blame other people for why our lives are falling apart. We blame other people for why our relationships keep failing. We blame our mother or father for being a terrible parent, and that we have these issues. But it's like, until you can actually just be with that pain, experience it and fully own it and move forward, you can't move forward. That's the whole thing, right? Like, you need to literally just, like, that's something I'm learning right now, literally week by week. I'm learning is just like accepting the parts of myself I don't like, accepting my pain, accepting all of the trauma I've kind of been through. And it's like really accepting, really feeling it, really like I never let myself explode. I never let myself, get angry. I hold myself so together, so disciplined that it terrifies me to lose control. That's one thing that is most terrifying in life for me, is losing control. So it's like, I'm right now learning to just lose it, like in kind of safe spaces and stuff, spaces I've created for myself, that I can yell, or can kind of like feel everything, or even like, if I don't want to write a letter to someone and tell them how much of an asshole they are, just write it to myself. Just write myself a letter and don't send it. Just to get my words out, just to speak my truth. Like, just say it out loud. Just, okay, how am I feeling? Because a lot of time I deny how I'm feeling. I say, no, I'm good. You know what I mean? No, it's not bothering me. When really it's cutting me up inside. So it's like, for me, I'm just giving myself permission to just, yeah, it's okay to break down. It's okay to fall apart. Just be okay with that. And hold myself and forgive myself on the other side of that. And not shame myself, because that's what I've been doing my entire life, right? And then it's like, yeah, tell me why I can't be there where you are. There's something missing in my heart. So at first I was thinking this was about a relationship falling apart, but really I think it's about a relationship where I think it might be either about a relationship that was going well and then they died, or it was going poorly and then they died, and now they can't say all the things they wanted to say. Because that's the problem. If like, so much of our relationship troubles are just bullshit. Like, it's just petty insecurities, and we're just, putting our relationship through the ringer just because of our jealousies, right? And it's like, when they're gone, it just, you can't make up. You know, you can't untake the things you can't take back the things you said. They're gone. And it's like there's nowhere to run. I have no place to go. Surrender my body, my heart, body, and soul. Right? It's like, yeah, I can't run away from myself. It's like, you know, a lot of people have this thing like, oh, if I distract myself or go to another country or travel the world, I'll outrun my problems. But it's like, yeah, you take your problems with you wherever you go. Like, they're your carry-on luggage that you can't get away from, right? Even if you go meditate at the top of a Buddhist monastery or something, it's like you're going to take all your problems up there with you. You can't escape yourself. You never can. You can shut them out for years and decades and most of your life, but they're going to be there when you're on your deathbed. They're going to be there when you're about to pass over, transition. And you're going to go, shit, I never outran this. And it's left a shadow over my entire life, all my relationships. I've never been able to fully be in love. I've never been able to fully love anybody because I've been hiding parts of myself. I've been, you know, it's almost like I was telling a friend this, because he's going to be coming on the podcast, and he just broke up with his fiance. And I asked him, I was like, is this something you're open to talking about on the podcast? Because I'd really love to talk about this because it's real. I'm like, I don't want to bullshit. I want to talk about what's real in our lives. And he's like, yeah, that's totally cool. And I'm like, yeah, because like when you're talking with someone and there's something they're unwilling to talk about, maybe it's something they're ashamed of, maybe it's something they're trying to hide. Like, you know, you can feel it. It's like, it's almost like if the conversation is a river, like you know, like a meandering river or something. It's like so the conversation is this free flowing river, but it's like if you're having a conversation with someone and they have something they're hiding. It's like putting a massive rock in the middle of the river, and you can feel as the pressure hits the rock, it has to displace itself around it. That's kind of what relationships like conversations feel like when people are hiding things. It's like, I don't know what, I can't put my finger on it, but I know there's something there. I know there's something you're not telling me. I know there's something you're not telling yourself. And imagine being in a relationship with someone where they're keeping that from you, right? And it's like there's just this rock that is, you know, parting your relationship, forcing weird ways of trying to get around it, and neither of you kind of know what's going on. And so it's like, yeah, you have to just clear that. You have to be open with that and be vulnerable. And then another great line is, yeah, how can it be you are asking me to feel the things you never show? Like, that's huge. We're always trying to tell people, oh, you can be open with me, you can be vulnerable with me, you can trust me. But it's like, you don't trust them. It's like you're like, oh, you know, tell me what's going on. What happened with your dad? What happened with your mom? What happened growing up with abuse? And it's like, you have all the stuff you're hiding. You have all your traumas that you haven't, you know, led with, right? So that's something I always do. If I ever expect anyone to share with me, I always, you know, make the first move. And that's what works. It's like, if you want someone to open up to you, if you want to get closer to somebody, open up to them. You know what I mean? Share something, not bullshit, like something you could throw away to anybody, but you know what, like if you want them to be truly vulnerable with you and really share themselves, you have to be prepared to really share yourself first. Especially if you're the one kind of leading the relationship. Could be a female or a male. It's just whoever's kind of more in the dominant energy and more the masculine essence of the relationship. They're probably going to lead more. And yeah, you have to go first. You have to be the one that kind of breaks that. And then here's Kevin. Yeah, I love that line that Kevin said. Life goes on as it never ends. Because, you know, I've experienced this too. We live as if our lives are forever. We say, oh yeah, life doesn't last forever, but we don't act as if that's true. We act as if it goes on forever. We act as if our parents will always be around until they get cancer, or until, it's like, that's why it hits you so hard when people get cancer, or when they are unhealthy and they're going to transition, because it hits you because they thought you actually felt like they're gonna live forever. And then when you actually are confronted with the fact they're not, that's when mortality kicks you in the ass. That's when you actually go, oh shit, I've been saying this BS my entire life, but I never even knew what it felt like. You know what I mean? To actually know my mother won't be here forever. And that's when you actually change your life and you actually spend time with these people that you love, right? And then I love this line, obviously. Eyes of stone observe the trends. They never say forever gaze. So it's like eyes of stone observe the trends. So yeah, like we sleepwalk our way through lives as if it'll never end. So that we never have the agency in our life to live. So we're just observing trends or observing people. But eyes of stone, almost through apathy or boredom. It's almost we're not curious about these trends. We're not curious about people. We're just kind of lulled into a slumber, observing everything around us as it flows by. But anyway, man, brilliant song. This is my favorite. The orchestration, the music, the vocal performance, just man, this was something else. This was incredible. It's like it hit me super deep emotionally, and at the same time, it's like it's the Backstreet Boys, and they're exciting. But anyway, what are your top 3 favorite Backstreet Boys songs? Let me know down below. Also, if you enjoyed the video and you want to help out with the YouTube algorithm, definitely give this video a like. Leave a silly comment, helps the YouTube algorithm. I'll leave all of your suggestions in the Discord, totally free, link down below. And if you want to support the channel, link down below to join the supporter squad. For if you want to have any song requests, there's exclusive full album reactions in there. Alanis Morissette, Roxette, Kelly Clarkson. There's a lot of them, so they're all in there. But yeah, definitely if you're interested. And that's it. So I'll see all of you guys again tomorrow. I love you. Peace.